Louis Foster. Congrats, man. That was very impressive. Big qualifying session to out-qualify all the heavy hitters in the Fast Six there, Road America. How we feeling after a strong weekend?
Yeah, good. I think generally looking back on it positively. Obviously, getting a first pole is great, and then the way we did it as well was pretty surprising.
Use reds, right? Tell people about that.
Yeah, I mean, I said to the guys, all weekend I was kind of like, Devlin's asking me, "Oh, how'd you find Road America?" And I'm like, I like the track, but I've never done amazing here. It's never been my best circuit. And kind of throughout practice, I was a bit struggling to figure out how to optimize lap time, car, etc. And then even when we got into the Fast 12, I said to the guys, because we've been in this situation before where we would make Fast 12, but then we didn't have anything else to go any further, and we'd waste a set of reds to move up one position. And it's like, well, let's save that for the race, right? So even in Fast 12, I mentioned to the guys, I was like, do you want to use another set of reds now, or do you want to try and prioritize the race? And we were close to just kind of almost, in a way, calling off qualifying for us and solidifying a top 12 start, right? But the team decided that we thought we had a bit of extra pace, which obviously was the right decision. But genuinely, I didn't think we had a lot of pace. And then going into Fast 6, obviously we had a really strong Fast 12 and was third in that. And going into Fast 6, we didn't have any tires left to do anything. So we were like, well, we'll just throw on the U's, go out, do one lap and box. Like, there's nothing else really we can do. So again, it was a bit of like we'll see where we end up. We kind of expected to be the bottom half of that top 6. But I remember doing the lap and, do turn 1 or turn 14, the first time corner, I'm a 10th and a half up. I'm like, okay, cool. And then the next corner is another 10th and a half, and then another 10th and a half. At this point, I'm going into turn 5 with about half a second to the good from my previous new tire run, right? And I was like, this is a good lap. So from then on, I had a few corners where I completely missed the apex of turn 5, went straight on, didn't lose any time somehow, and then a couple other corners. But I think genuinely it was just a massive shock to us that I managed to do it. But the used tires held on a lot better than we thought they would.
Well, as we saw, I think that led to it being a mostly red race, it feels like. I certainly thought that the red tires were the ideal tire. It was obviously, to let people know, is the same tire as thermal. And thermal ended up being, everyone was, I think, happier more on the red. Now, you didn't have a very fun thermal event, but the thermal red tire, certainly in our case, was much better. Even though it was that hot, did you guys think going into the race that it would be a red race? Were you thinking, all right, we don't really know yet? Or how did you guys feel?
Well, it was a different... it wasn't entirely the same as thermal. I think it was either the fronts or the rears that were different, right? Like, I think...
The primaries were different as well, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what it was, but they were very similar either way.
We thought it was the same red tire thermal. Maybe you guys have more information than we do.
I'm pretty sure that either it was the front or the rear. I'd have to check the guys, but I'm pretty sure it was either the front or the rears of the reds were different. Like one axle of the compounds is the same, but the other compound was slightly different. But it was pretty similar either way. We were positive it was going to be a red race. We wanted to, well... We had our red stint. We had our first. We were going to do red stint at the start, then black, and then the last stint we were going to decide whether or not we were going to go blacks again or reds based on how the race played out, right? So, I guess we did kind of have a few question marks, but our biggest issue is we thought we were going to dig rear left a lot, so we put a lot of understeer to the car for warm up and for the race. And I knew that optimal lap time wise, it wasn't faster. I could feel it, but I was like, I think over a stint this might be faster just to protect the rear left, but. Ended up being that our front left got degged the worst in the race, which is why we struggled so much at pace. We just didn't have the balance in the right window, and we were degging the front left way too much.
Interesting. Yeah, I think I was very surprised to see how that race played out. It was because of the yellows. I obviously was one of the yellows. I didn't have a great day myself, but there was a different strategy right out the gate because we had Malukas flying off the track, instant yellow. We started on black, so we wanted to get those off immediately. But then you had people like Scott Dixon getting extra fuel, and you figured for sure Scott Dixon is going to be leading the race at some point, which he obviously was because he's Scott Dixon. But when you guys saw the different strategy playing out, was there any worry where you're like, okay, now it's going to be something to where starting on pole actually hurts us because we couldn't pit on the first yellow? How was that going through your guys' minds?
To be honest with you, I haven't had the time to review the race yet. I've been flat out since the race. We haven't done our strategy review. So I actually, I don't know how you feel. You might be different to me in the sense because you've got so much experience in IndyCar. But honestly, I haven't got a clue what's going on in the race. I just drive as fast as I can for as long as possible. I still haven't understood how everything's playing out. So a lot of the time, like, I'll find myself in like P19 and I'm like, oh my God, we're having an awful race. And then I'll look down a few laps later and I'm P3 or P4 because everyone in front's boxed or whatever. So I still don't have that understanding during the race of the strategies, which I think will come with time. I'm sure you probably felt similar when you started out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
Did you have to save at the end, though? Were you on a big saving number at the end? No, you were pushing.
I was pushing at the end. I had...
That's helpful.
I came out... Yeah, I mean, I just slowly fell back throughout the first two stints, first three stints, really, just because I was conserving rears still and we were still too understeery. And then by the time at the end of the second stint, I realized, like, we're saving the wrong tire here. So I went complete opposite on my bars and just went full push and was hustling the car. At that point, I started to regain kind of what I'd already lost, but it was so hard at that point, managing push parts and everything. But I think I went from maybe like 19th to 11th in the last stint. I was on red. There's a lot of fuel savers. I overtook quite a few guys in that last stint. And then I got past the Penske's right at the end because they were on a big fuel save. So that was good for us to be able to get back and claw back some decent points for us. So P11, it's good. It equals my best finish, but from starting first, it's like, you want a bit more than that.
IndyCar is hard. It's truly a wild day. I'm sure Chase has a question for you that particularly might have to do with a facial hair arrangement.
Yeah, I just want to start with a moment of silence for you not having a mustache anymore, Louis. So I'm just going to do that now.
R.I.P. mustaches.
Yep, that was that. So let's talk about it. For one, I just want to say this much. I feel like it may have helped you because you did get the pole. You did get a pole for the first time ever. So maybe like it was just a lot of weight, and you had to shed a little bit of the weight on the top of the face. But tell us a little bit about how all of this came to be where you shaved your mustache off this weekend. We've seen some interesting videos. Just want to kind of know the story for the listeners.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's always been comments about the mustache for the last kind of 2 months or so. It's kind of been the main focus of my IndyCar. Like, honestly, people are less focused on what I do on track. They're more focused on the mustache. It's been a bit weird, if I'm honest.
It's like that. It's like that, though. It's a big responsibility.
I liked it. I liked the mustache. I enjoyed it. I mean, if I'm honest, I haven't shaved since I did this shave, so I've kind of got a beard coming back in again, and I'm probably just going to bring the mustache back because I like it, right? I'm also not at all what's the word, skeptical or like what's the word,
superstitious.
I'm not superstitious at all. Like I don't think it well, I don't know, we'll see. But basically what happened is we went to the Sabikins for Kids charity thing, the bartending, and the guys asked me when I went up on stage how much to shave the mustache, and I was like, I don't know, $1,000, I guess. From my understanding, the way it worked was I am bartending for 15 minutes. And if I can make $1,000 in those 15 minutes just from tips, then I'd shave the mustache. So I was thinking, no way I make $1,000. There's no way. Like it's, people out here just buying drinks. No one cares that much about my facial hair, right? I kind of forgot that there were other people in the racing industry there, such as Dario Franchitti, who the time for the last 3 months has been commenting on my mustache, saying it looks awful, and he wants me to get rid of it.
And guess who has $1,000 that he can throw around quite lively?
He didn't put in 1,000. He put in 500, right?
And then halfway.
He went halfway, but then they grab the mic and they like are screaming at people with $100 bill notes, be like, "Come up here and bring us your money. We only need 5 more people to bring $100 bills." So 5 people come and bring $100 bills. And at this point, I'm still bartending and I'm just hearing like commotion over there. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And then I hear them like saying about it and then screaming to try and get a razor and stuff. And I'm like, oh no, they've made the grand. Like, how have they done that? So I'm like,
they colluded. They colluded on you, dude. That's what happened.
It's not fair. It's insider trading, It's like, it's not fair.
Right.
So anyway, some guy ran to his hotel room and grabbed his razor. So I used this random guy's razor. Dario shaved a little bit, and then Will took over the rest. I mean, at the end of the day, it was funny, and it was a good experience for everyone there, and definitely a new experience for me. Having someone else shave my mustache as well was a bit weird.
That's kind of scary.
So much hair in my mouth, it was unbelievable.
Oh,
it was just
yeah.
I was like to spit every 5 seconds just to get rid of hair in my mouth. But like I said, like it's facial hair, and it was a grand for kids for charity. Like, I'm happy. So
yeah, it can come back. And I want to say this. I'm curious to know how Dario Franchitti feels about my mustache now. I'm curious to know how he feels about mustaches in general. I think he could look really good with a mustache if he did it. So maybe he was just insecure. Maybe Dario was a little insecure about it, and he was a little jealous of your mustache. I think that's what this is all about.
Genuinely, I think you're right, Chase. I think so.
That could be
I don't
it.
think he can pull it off. I think he was jealous of it.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it was a great story overall. Like these little things for our series in the paddock, and like for the fan base on Twitter, I think is just in general, it's good. So the fact that you got pole and everyone's like, oh my gosh, first thing, it must have been the mustache. Like, it's just funny. So kudos to you for doing that for charity, raising money for kids. That's obviously super, super strong. And you were rewarded for that. So there you go. Pole position. You got the nice hats. Everyone's got a trophy.